You're watching CarTell.tv and I'm Simone.
The boom in the SUV market has seen the lines blur between premium and mainstream models, as manufacturers are aiming to put themselves one step ahead in the fastest growing car segment.
And the best way to do that is by adding perks. Today I've got the Ford Escape and it's actually a pretty good example of that.
It offers cool design, a step up in engineering, more perks and loads of cool amenities in the top spec version. Sadly, I have the base Ambiente front-wheel drive with me for a review, but it's still far from bad.
It used to be called Escape, then Cougar, now it's back to being Escape again. It's kind of like how, do you remember Snoop Dogg became Snoop Lion and then he realised it was a better idea to be Snoop Dogg again? Yeah, that's this car.
Now for looks. The change in name brought a more intensive, bigger and higher grille and headlights, as well as redesigned rear segment.
But despite the old name, we get a more modern looking SUV.
The headlights are by Xenon now, and the fog lights are swept further back, which gives the car less rugged but more modern styling. The side view reveals that Ford managed to shun the coupe-like roofline.
It looks a little less cool, but still rear passengers will welcome the decision.
The side view also shows just how long this windshield is.
You may think this feature is a gimmick, but on the inside it makes a lot of difference and gives a sense of confidence and roominess.
The engine is the base version one. It is a 1.5 litre EcoBoost turbo with seemingly sufficient 134 kilowatts of power and 240 newton metres of torque.
I have the 6-speed auto version. The manual with the same engine has 14 kilowatts less.
I have to say that the marvellous EcoBoost is sufficient, but the more powerful 2-litre petrol and the wonderfully torquey diesel provide more fun behind the wheel.
They also cost more.
Steering has a bit of weight, which is great.
Not many manufacturers manage to find that sweet spot between weight and comfort, but Ford hit the nail on the head.
Which is good for reducing body roll and improving cornering abilities, but it has to work well with the suspension setup so as not to give too stiff a ride.
In the Escape, it's weirdly successful. I say weirdly because the car is both stiff in terms of structure and comfortable due to suspension.
But it does take some time to get used to the ratio between comfort and stiffness. The line seems too thin at times, and it's not easy to predict how far you can push the car. It's no rocket, but it's still zippy enough. For city errands and highway cruisers, the Escape offers the perfect mix of comfort and confidence.
Turning circle is not the best, and A-pillars are big, but generally speaking, visibility is great.
This is an entry-level version, so it is front-wheel drive. All-wheel drives are more expensive, but having in mind what its target roads are, the front-wheel drive might be quite enough.
It's nice to see the dashboard is far less cluttered.
The seats are also supportive, even in this base model. The materials are pretty good, and the storage space is significant, offering loads of room in the central console and even in the space between the seats and doors.
Hop into the rear and you'll be welcomed with sufficient legroom and headroom.
Go even further back and you'll see that the 60/40 seats fold for great cargo capacity.
As for the infotainment system, the previous version had its share of hateful comments, and for good reason. It was bad, to put it mildly, but this one is better, a lot better.
The 8-inch screen comes with the latest update of the infotainment system, with SatNav, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto across the range.
It's very quick and responsive, and it has intuitive controls. Works like a charm, but there is one thing I don't like about it.
Look at this deep placement. It looks cool, but when you try to use it, you'll see it's not a comfortable reach, and that little framed bit down the bottom blocks my hands from tapping low buttons. Ford packs loads of safety perks such as rain sensors, bi-xenon headlights, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, rear cross traffic assist, blind spot monitoring, automatic braking and much more.
But most of these are optional and they come only with the tech pack that costs $1,300. Interestingly, the tech pack is not standard even in the top spec models.
Other safety features include a backup camera with really effective guidelines, 7 airbags and rear parking sensors.
The Escape has some tough competition, what with the CX-5, the Tucson, the RAV4 and others.
But when looking at what it offers, the Escape is a pretty solid choice for the Aussie driver. Given it's the bottom spec, this Escape starts off pricing at just under $34,000 and they work their way up to $52,000 for an all-wheel drive titanium diesel.
It comes packed with comfort and safety features and a pretty wide choice of engines, which isn't as common nowadays.
Choosing between manual or auto, all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive and the available engines means that anyone who is into SUVs can find a viable option within the Escape.
I drove the base model and I actually really enjoyed it. High spec models can only be better. Thanks for watching CarTell.tv and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Now this is a very competitive category with a lot of heavy hitters and I reviewed the Sportage, the Tucson and now the Escape. I'd like to know which one you prefer. Leave your comments below.